Hi, I am Gabriel Dirksen. This is EDL 851. This is my Module 12 case study. Summarize the case. The principal is completing teacher evaluations. Mrs. Stevens is a teacher in the district and she is struggling in her classroom. The contract may not be renewed by the principal's first evaluation. Mrs. Stevens is having trouble with the classroom management of the students in her classroom, and they are rude to her. They don't respect her, and the principal can even see that and hear that before he even walks inside the building, the room. Post evaluation, Mrs. Stevenson was defensive and not coachable. After his second evaluation, he called her into his office, and things did not go as well as he thought they would. The principal isn't wanting to renew her contract. Ms. Stevenson blames administration that she hasn't had enough help and enough leadership within the district, and nobody has done anything to help her. So she threatens to, if they don't renew her contract, she will be taking them to court. Legal and ethical issues. Legal issues. Principal's evaluation process could be questionable. Is he only observed twice? Is he visible in the district or in the building? Does he get around to the rooms daily? Has he seen a sign that she is not meeting the needs of the contract that she has? Teacher feels she hasn't been supported and led adequately. So that raises other questions. Is the principal doing a correct job? Is he being fair? Does he have the grounds to not renew her contract just by these two evaluations? So is the teacher not meeting student needs is another huge one, because we are all ultimately there for student success. So the principal needs to be helping this teacher out as much as possible so the needs of these students are getting met and they have their best chance to succeed. What does a teacher contract look like? Is there a contract? Does it state anything about the two evaluations or evaluation process? Ethical issues that could be going on in the school through this process. Principal's decision could affect positive school culture. It could make some staff feel uneasy. It could cause an uprise within amongst teachers. So we need to be careful and tactical about how we handle the situation. Is the environment conducive for building student success? So an ethical issue would be that the classroom is not a positive culture for learning, and these students could be falling behind. So action needs to be taken quickly and effectively. Is there enough data and evidence to support principal's decision? Is there anything else besides these two evaluations that would make her not able to be her contract renewed? So what else data do we have? And is this an ongoing process, or did this just start between this first and second evaluation that we know about? So the problem in the case study summarized into a short 2 or 3 sentences. Mrs. Stevens is having trouble with the classroom management. A principal evaluation addresses the issue and the response is hostile. The principal needs to implement systems that support and evaluate teachers' effectiveness for student success. The facts. People in this case is Mrs. Stevenson. She's a classroom teacher in the district that is having trouble with the principal's evaluation and is struggling in the classroom. Her class, or the students affected in the classroom that could be falling behind. The principal is doing the evaluations, and he is sending the evaluations to his superiors higher up, which could be a superintendent or an assistant principal. If he does not renew this contract, that will be reviewed by the Board of Education, who have ultimate control of hiring and firing. The court, she threatened to bring in the court, so that would bring in attorneys and lawyers of the school side and could cause other issues, but that is the people involved. Places is a school that is happening in, the classroom where the teacher is being observed and the students are learning, and the office where the post evaluation took place with the teacher and the principal meeting. programs that are happening in the school, principal's evaluation system. Is there an evaluation system? Does a school have one? What does it look like, and is it outlined? Teacher being treated fairly. Is this teacher being treated fairly? Does this principal have some vendetta against her? Have the appropriate steps by administration been taken correctly? Is there any other documentation to support these actions that, besides just this one rude meeting where she wasn't very coachable or teachable, is there any other documentation? And then what is the school size and population? Are there many teachers in the district? Is there one grade per age group per class? What is it? What does the school dynamics look like? Would be other helpful information to know to decide with the teacher or the principal. Review and prioritize the information. Principal needs to find an adequate approach that best fits the student needs and staff. Is Mrs. Stevenson fair in her statements that she feels her needs haven't been met? How many teachers are in the district? Does the principal have a positive school culture? Is it respected among the staff? District policies outline teacher evaluation protocol. Is there a district policy that outlines the teacher evaluations? Is he following the adequate steps? Is Ms. Stevens fair in her statements that she isn't being treated fairly? So many aspects have to be looked in this, and this needs to be handled effectively, that you keep a positive school culture, you are meeting the needs of the student in the classroom, and that everybody is happy in the end result. Plan 1 is no action. Go ahead and submit the evaluation to administration higher up. Stand behind your decision, even with the threats of court. So take it head on. Don't change anything. Plan 2 would be plan more formal and informal evaluations. Be more visible in this teacher's classroom to see if changes are being made. Hire an instructional coach and have administration in the district evaluate her in a month and reevaluate the situation. So removing yourself from the evaluation process and adding another administrator would tell you if this teacher is doing an effective job and if she's being coachable. Plan 3 would be to create a effective evaluation plan district-wide. So make sure each principal is following the same evaluation plan and within every teacher in that district. Assign a mentor teacher within the building to help Mrs. Stevens. So the principal needs to handpick a teacher from that building that he knows is a great teacher and has the necessary skills that Mrs. Stevenson lacks, so she could help coach that teacher to be an effective teacher. Then that principal needs to support Ms. Stevenson with plans of student growth and success within her classroom and outline expectations that must happen so the contract is renewed. So he needs to outline exactly what Ms. Stevenson needs to do so she can continue teaching in that district. Evaluating options. Option 1, taking no action wouldn't be a wise choice. Put your job in jeopardy. Could bring some animosity among staff against administration, and could have negative effects on school culture. Option 2, least inclusive option to help Mrs. Stevens. Would still have tensions between her and administrations because you're kind of hiring other people to do your job, but removing Mrs. Stevenson and the principal, which is yourself, removing you guys from each other and having like a third party do it, could still have some animosity and in a bad environment in the school, but it still gets the job done by improving her skills and having an adequate evaluation. Because it's called drama and pettiness among staff. Option 3, effectively creates an evaluation system that supports the teacher and promotes student success. Clearly describes expectations and what must be done to complete the job at a satisfactory level. So obviously the best option is option 3. Overall, the best comprehensive plan outlines specific support for the teacher to grow and positively affect their classroom while keeping administration in charge to lead and guide the school's evaluation system. So that is why I chose option 3. There will be very many steps of implementing this plan. First, you would have to go over the district policies in a staff meeting with all teachers, explaining your evaluation process and what is being expected of teachers within this district, and that they know this is in their contract that they sign every year. And you would make any change or update any evaluation policies necessary to meet the needs of teachers at this time. Find a lead teacher that is respected and able to do a quality job to instruct Mrs. Stevens in what she needs to do to improve her classroom management skills so her classroom is a positive learning environment. And then on the side, you could also find professional development opportunities that Mrs. Stevenson could attend. So personally deliver things that she could go to, workshops that she could attend that would help her be a better teacher in the classroom and point her in the right direction. Principal needs to keep school culture and staff morale positive. So doing this with a positive attitude and effectively helping Mrs. Stevens correct her negative behaviors and show her that we all need to be lifelong learners as teachers and to grow and change as each class comes into our room. Outline expectations for Miss Stevens. We just let her know because she spouted off she's not getting away with treating people like that, but we're here to help students and staff alike. So come together, draw out the guidelines straight and narrow, and if she does not meet these guidelines, then her contract will not be signed. Reevaluate the situation in a couple months or at the end of the school year. Pull in other administration if necessary. Get a fresh set of eyes on it. Make sure you're doing it the correct job. And so that is how I would implement it. And if it doesn't work, I would go back to the drawing board and maybe even look at not signing her contract because she is not meeting the needs. And if you have 8 other teachers that are good teachers in the building, obviously you don't need one bad cell affecting everybody else. So don't sign that contract. And if the administrator's done everything right, go to court and there shouldn't be anything to worry about. And that is how I would handle the situation. Thank you for listening to my case study.